Picture this: a brutal act of violence disguised as a desperate attempt to banish evil spirits from a tiny child. It's a heart-wrenching tale that raises profound questions about faith, justice, and the darkest sides of human behavior. But here's where it gets controversial. What if the whole story is a twisted cover-up? Let's dive into the details of this Texas case that's set to culminate in a scheduled execution, and explore the layers that make it so gripping. In Houston, a 35-year-old man named Blaine Milam is slated for lethal injection on Thursday evening at the state penitentiary in Huntsville. He's been convicted of the horrific murder of his girlfriend's 13-month-old daughter, Jesseca Carson, back in December 2008. The crime unfolded in a trailer in Rusk County, East Texas, and the couple involved claimed it was an exorcism ritual aimed at driving out a demon they believed was tormenting the little girl. For those unfamiliar, an exorcism is a religious or spiritual practice where someone tries to expel evil entities from a person, often rooted in beliefs from various faiths, but it can sometimes cross into dangerous territory when it involves harm. Milam and his then-girlfriend, Jesseca Carson, were both just 18 years old at the time. They've both been tried separately, with Carson receiving a life sentence without parole for her role in the capital murder. Milam has steadfastly maintained his innocence, pointing the finger at Carson as the true perpetrator. He alleges that she was the one who insisted the child was possessed by a demon, and that her actions led to the tragedy. Prosecutors, however, paint a different picture, describing a savage attack where Milam allegedly beat the infant with a hammer, bit her, strangled her, and inflicted mutilations over a grueling 30-hour period. A forensic pathologist who examined the body during the autopsy uncovered a nightmare of injuries: multiple skull fractures, broken arms, legs, ribs, and numerous bite marks. The expert testified that there were so many potentially lethal wounds that pinpointing a single cause of death was impossible. It's a grim reminder of how forensic science can reveal the extent of suffering. And for beginners in criminal investigations, this highlights why autopsies are crucial in piecing together what happened. Milam's legal team has been fighting hard, recently petitioning the U.S. Supreme Court to halt the execution. They argue that his conviction relied partly on now discredited bite mark analysis and questionable DNA evidence. Bite mark evidence, for those who might not know, involves comparing marks on skin to a suspect's dental impressions, but it's become highly debated in recent years. A 2016 report from the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology called it scientifically unreliable, which could make you wonder, how many cases have been wrongly decided based on such methods? And this is the part most people miss. The lawyers also claim Milam is intellectually disabled, a condition that, under certain legal standards, might make him ineligible for the death penalty. In their Supreme Court filing, Milam's attorneys went further, suggesting that Carson suffered from religious delusions and a neurological disorder affecting her vision, which might have made her perceive her daughter's face as distorted or menacing, prompting the attack. It was Carson who caused her daughter's death, they stated. There is no credible evidence that Milam played any role in it. This introduces a controversial twist. Could mental health issues or spiritual beliefs be used as defenses in such extreme cases? It's a debate that pits faith against forensic facts, and many might argue it blurs the line between genuine belief and criminal excuse. Despite these appeals, state and federal courts have denied previous requests to stay the execution, including a recent rejection by the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles to reduce his sentence. Milam has faced execution dates before in 2019 and 2021, but they were postponed. The Texas Attorney General's office counters that claims of intellectual disability have been dismissed in prior rulings, and a fresh look at the DNA evidence still links Milam to the scene. Even without the bite marks and DNA, they say, other proof exists, like attempts to conceal evidence and a confession he gave to a nurse after arrest. Russ County District Attorney Michael Jimerson, who prosecuted the case alongside the Attorney General's office, shared with the Associated Press in 2019 that initially authorities saw Milam and Carson as distraught parents. But Carson later revealed in court records that Milam had told her Amora was possessed by a demon because God was tired of her lying to Milam. Jimerson remains skeptical, viewing the exorcism story as a smokescreen for the crime. It's very hard to confront the idea that someone would derive their gratification from the torture of a baby, he said. That is really something that diminishes all of us, and it's just a very, very hard thing to face. This raises another layer of controversy. Is the motive truly spiritual, or is it something far more sinister? And should courts treat claims of demonic possession as legitimate defenses? If Milam's execution proceeds, you'll be the 5th person executed in Texas this year, a state known for its high number of capital punishments. Texas has historically been the most active in the U.S. for death sentences. Meanwhile, if both Thursday's executions, Milam's in Texas and Jeffrey West's in Alabama for a 1997 gas station shooting during a robbery, go forward, the national total for 2024 would reach 33. Florida is leading the pack with a record 12 executions so far this year, and 2 more planned by mid-October. This case isn't just about one man's fate. It touches on broader issues like the reliability of evidence in trials, the role of mental health in criminal responsibility, and the ethics of the death penalty. Do you believe Milam's claims of innocence, or do the prosecutors have it right? Should spiritual beliefs ever be a factor in legal defenses for violent acts? And is the death penalty an appropriate response in cases involving children? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear differing opinions on this deeply troubling story. Follow Juan A. Lozano. https://x.com/JuanLozano70